shoulder past Miller's Bend, where the fence posts lean like tired old men. There's a line through the grass that the years still know, where a kid ran hard with nowhere to go. Now the same small dust climbs up these boots, and the pines hold still with their buried truths. Evening lays its hand on the field so wide, like it means to keep what the day can't hide. Red seam, stitching dark to the edge of a half-known dream. Smoke rolls slow through the cottonwood leaves, and the night breeze deep through the open trees. Time has ways of thinning a voice to grain, of taking a name then returning it changed. Still the old back porch and the mind stays lit like a jar on a sill with a light in it. There's a hush out here where the world grows far, where the ground feels close and the heavens are large, and the heart speaks low when the wind moves through, like it finally means what it's saying to. Let the back road take what I can't untie, let the sparks drift up through the patient sky. All my old days turn in the smoke and shade, not gone for good, just a little afraid. If there's grace at all, it is deep and plain, like a hidden well underneath the plain. Some things fade, but they do not leave. They sleep in the bark and the flannel sleeve. What was lost comes back without a sound, when the fire burns low and the stars lean down. Let the back road take what I can't untie, let the sparks drift up through the patient sky. If there's grace at all, it is deep and plain, like a hidden well underneath the plain. Along the ridge where the red hawks glide, a narrow trail pulls me countryside, past the fern and the broken pine, where the last light lays in a crooked line, by a ring of stones and a weathered flame. Smoke goes up and forgets its name, and the whole white field in the falling gold feels like a hand that can bear what's old. There was a house at the edge of wheat, dust on the sill and heat in the screen. My mother laughed from the garden road, while the well rope creaked in the dusk below. Now the years run out like a tire-worn road, did time undo? What stayed true? When the fire burns down and the crickets start, night lays a thumb on the beating heart, soft and slow, soft and slow. Let the long way home come find me through the grass and the afterglow, where the dark turns kind around me and the tired mind lets go. Maybe grace is not a river, maybe grace is a road gone slow. One out call from the cottonwood, one more breath in the quiet woods. No clear answer fell from above, just the ground holding still enough. Let the long way home come find me through the grass and the afterglow. Maybe grace is not a river, maybe grace is a road gone slow.
Past the line where the blacktop thins, where the weeds grow tall through the fence post pins. There's a trail worn down by a quieter time, by a boy with his hands full of dust and pine. Evening leans through the cedar shade, through the names in the bark that the pocket knife made. And the fields lie wide like they used to do, holding more than the heart can carry through. By the fire the kettle begins to sing, and the dark moves close to the little. Smoke goes up where the tall stars wait, like a half-formed prayer I was slow to name. Years run off like a creaking stone, leave you taller somehow but not more known. Every road lets go of the shoes that roam. Still a part of me circles the thought of home. There's a hush in the grass when the light drops low, like the earth knows things that it won't quite show. And I stand so small in the breathing land, with a doubt in my chest and a spark in my hand. So let the fire read my face tonight, let it tell me what it finds in the light. All my old days flicker then fall apart, ash and ember in the rims of the dark. So let the fire read my face tonight. Let it tell me what it finds in the light. Let it tell me what it finds in the light. All my old days flicker then fall apart, ash and ember in the ribs of the dark.
Gravel breathed under wandering boots, through a stand of pine and a tangle of roots. Late sun hung on in a copper sky, while the crows drew lines where the hills run high. By a ring of stones and a patient flame, smoke rose thin and forgot its name. And the woods stayed still in the settling gold, like they'd heard this ache and had learned to hold. There was a yard where the tall weeds grew, a porch light dim and a doorway blue. My brother ran through the evening dust, and the screen door slammed with a clang and thrust. Now the years go by like a creek through reeds, taking small bright parts that a heart still needs. Yet the road bends on through the darkening land, with the past like dirt in an open hand. When the fire burns low and the night leans near, small old questions grow sharp and clear, sharp and clear. So I follow the line where the black trees part, with the hush of the field and a worn out heart. And the sky stays wide though the days run fast, like it's making room for the living in past. Maybe faith ain't loud, maybe doubt ain't wrong, maybe both just walk where the road runs on. Spoke once from the cedar side, and the whole dark breathed like a turning tide. No grand sign came through the leaves above, just the earth staying near. When the soul needs love, so I follow the line where the black trees part, the hush of the fields in a worn out heart. Maybe faith ain't loud, maybe doubt ain't wrong, maybe both just walk where the road runs on.
down a two-track road where the sunlight sways past the fence post bent by the August days. A crow flew low through the amber air, and the fields lay wide like an answered prayer. By a ring of stones where the brushwood burned, smoke moved slow as the light water turned, and the pine stood back in a hush so deep, like the earth itself had gone still to keep. There was a yard with a rust-red gate, a garden row and a chipped white plate. My father's boots by the kitchen stair, and my mother singing to the evening air. Now the miles roll out and the years roll through, taking old sharp names, making others new. Still a quiet voice in the dark asks this: what was lost for good? What still exists when the fire falls down to a faithful glow, and the far hill fades to a shadowed road? The heart speaks plain, the heart speaks low. So let the tall earth turn around me, let the gravel sing beneath my feet. There are roads that lead you from your old days, there are roads that bring them back to me. And maybe grace is not a river, maybe grace is ground that doesn't leave. A whippoorwill from the cedar side, one small call in the deepening night. No bright sign came, no grand relief, just the dark, the dust, and the little peace. Let the tall earth turn around me, let the gravel sing beneath my feet. Maybe grace is ground that stays beneath us when the past and the long road meet.
Pale dirt road by a cedar line, a bend out west where the fields unwind. The evening held to the hood of the car, and the first few stars came out one by one. Down by the fire where the kettle steamed, smoke climbed slow through the tamarack green. No one spoke, but the crickets did, like they knew every name I hid. Was a patch of pine, a rope on a branch and a sheet on the line, a dog-ear Bible, a broken rake, and a porch that groaned when the screen would shake. Years run off like a creek through stone, leaving their mark place now. The hill goes dim, the sky grows deep, and the dark don't take it. It only keeps what we mean. So let the tall grass lean around me. Let the night come plain and slow. There are some things time won't answer. There are some things time will show. And the heart gets small in the distance, but it beats like a steady flame. Ash in the air and the old wood sighs. Moonlight rests on the brim of the pines. Far off thunder rolls and fades like a door half shut in the weight of grace. Let the tall grass lean around me. Let the night come plain and slow. There are some things time won't answer. There are some things time will show. Along the ridge where the scrub oak bends, a thin path ran where the daylight thinned. Fire in a circle of soup black stone held a little heat when the sun had gone. Smoke climbed up through the copper leaves, slow and worn as a hand sleeve creaks. And the hush out there in the drying grass felt like something lost, coming home at last. There was a yard with a gate half hung, a tire that swung from a rope once swung. Dust on the porch and a jar by the sink, and a radio low at the edge of sleep. Now the miles unspool through the fields and pines, and the years go dim like old fence line signs. But the ground still knows every weight I've been, every doubt let down, every ache kept in. When the white sky leans on the cedar spine, all the small hard questions fall out of line by the coals and the settling air. Even silence feels like it's listening there. So I stay till the fire turns blue, till the dark makes room for the plain and true, and the past comes back like a whippoorwill, soft and low from the farther hill. If there's faith, it's a quieter sound, like dry leaves turning on the ground. Tin cup gleam, nothing else. answered in words I knew. Still the earth said enough to move. So I stayed till the fire turns blue, till the dark makes room for the plain and true. If there's faith, it's a quieter sound, like dry leaves turning on the ground.
Down a trail where the bracken sways, past the bend where the blue light lays. Smoke climbed thin from a borrowed flame, and the dust made room for the names that change. Boot soles pressed in the powdery earth, like a quiet proof of a younger world. When a field seemed wide as a faithful sea, and a porch light meant what it meant to me. Now the hills wear gold at the edge of night, and the fence posts lean in the failing light. Every mile puts a hush in the chest, like the road knows grief and it knows what's left. There was a house with a dogwood tree, and a screen door loose on a rusted spring. Some of it gone, some of it staying still, like a song called low in a whippoorwill. Pines don't answer, they only bend. Hold the dark, then release again, by the coals and the settling air. Even doubt grows soft as prayer. So I wait where the fire burns down, where the sparks rise up and the night comes round, and the old days move through the grass like rain, yeah, near enough to be felt again. If there's meaning, it won't arrive all at once, just a steadier step and an open lung. Morning spreads through the ash and stone, turns the drifted smoke to a tender glow. Nothing solved, but the heart stands clear, like the road said, stay a little here. So I wait where the fire burns down, where the sparks rise up and the night comes round. If there's meaning, it won't arrive all at once, just a steadier step and an open lung. Tearing thin through the leaning pines, past a ring of stone and a clothesline sky. Fire laid low with a patient flame, breathing red where the long grass swayed. Somewhere back in the creek bed lay the shape of a boy I'd been, kicking dust where the day fell wide. Certain home was the other side. Now the road hums soft where the fields give way, and the light gets slow at the end of the day. Crows drift down to the fence post wire, black as thought in the thistle briar. What was lost never left in full. Some stays tucked in the bark and wool, in the smell of smoke on a worn-out sleeve, in the hush of the earth when the tall weeds lean. And the hills don't speak, but they never lie. They just hold their ground while the years go by the cold and the darkening blue. There's less to prove and a clearer view. Let the night come in through the sycamore leaves, let it rest where the old path breathes. Every mile that was hard to name left a mark, but it did not stay. If the truth is small, let it still be true. Like a hand-warmed stone I can carry through. Morning breaks in a crooked band, gold on ash in the open land. Mist lifts off from the grass and shale, slow as grace on a wagon trail. Nothing grand in the things that last, just a kettle, a match to pass, and a heart that learned by losing speed how to hear what the silence means when the wide world turns and the doubts rise high. There's a steadier word in the hawk's slow glide, not an answer glide and new. Just enough light to walk it through. Let the night come in through the sycamore leaves, let it rest where the old path breathes. Every mile that was hard to name left a mark, but it did not stay. If the truth is small, let it still be true. Like a hand-warmed stone I can carry through. So the fire burns down and the stars draw near, and the dark makes room for the things made clear. Not every road needs a reason why, some just widen the heart inside. Let the night come in through the sycamore leaves, let it rest where the old path breathes. If the truth is small, let it still be true. Like a hand-warmed stone I can carry through. I can carry through. I can carry through.
Down the path where the tall grass bends, evening leans where the tree line ends. Smoke from a fire moves low and slow through the cedar and the stones below. Some old sound in the dark comes back like boots and a name on a gravel track, like a porch light left in a far-off frame, still burning soft when the night is changed. Past the bend where the blackbirds feed, ears fall off like birds in seed. A child once ran through these fields at dusk, hands full of dirt and a heart full of trust. Now the hills hold more than they show. They keep what leaves and one will let go. And the wide quiet land says nothing plain, still it knows why its soul grows strange. There are questions the pines won't close, only carry where the long wind goes. By the ember and the thinning light, small enough to be right tonight. So I walk where the firelight fades, where the dark and the dry grass trade. All I was for the road I'm on, for the quiet after what is gone. If there's meaning it moves like smoke through open hands and an open throat. Morning comes through the leaves and bars, gold on ash in the backs of scars. Nothing answered but something stayed, soft as dust in the light it made. So I walk where the firelight fades, for the quiet after what is gone. If there's meaning it moves like smoke through open hands and an open throat. And an open throat. By the pines where the footpath ends, past the rocks and the rusted tins, firewood cracked in the fallen shade, smoke grows slow where the grass is laid. Far off hills held a dim gold line, like a thought at the back of the mind. And the dusk moved in through the cedar trees, soft as breath, soft as memory. There was a yard and a crooked swing, dust on shoes and the taste of spring. The screen door hit with a hollow sound, while the light ran low on the edge of town. Now the road goes on and the years go fast, still some part of me walks half back to the worn fence post and the field behind, where I first felt small in the evening sky. In the dark, don't rush, it just gets the ashen leaves. Nothing solved, but the chest can breathe. Some roads fade and some remain, marked in dust and a little flame. So I stay till the fire burns low, till the last red heart lets go. If there's truth, it won't shout my name. It'll rise like smoke and then change again. Beyond the turn where the fence rows fade, runs a narrow track through the willow shade, where the dust lifts soft from the heel and toe, and the weeds bend down where the warm winds go by. A fire ring built from a scatter of stone smoke threads up through the dusk alone, and the pines stand back in a patient line, like they've watched men leave and return in time. There was a yard with a crooked gate, a jar of nails on a windowsill plate, my brother's laugh in the supper light, and the screen door slam at the edge of night. Now the miles wear out what the hands once knew. Some names grow dim and some stay true. Still an old road hums underneath it all, like a far-off hymn through a barnwood wall. When the fire burns down to a red gold seam, and the dark rolls in like a slower stream, the heart talks plain, the heart talks slow. Let the roadside weeds lean over, let the long dust gather slow. There are things that time has taken, there are things it could not owe, and maybe faith is not a mountain, maybe faith's the ground below. Cedar line, then the whole field held that sound a while. No bright answer fell from above, just the quiet weight of enough. Let the roadside weeds lean over, let the long dust gather slow. Maybe faith is not a mountain, maybe face the ground below.
Out past the fence where the blackbirds feed, a foot-worn trail cuts through the weed. The grass leans low in the amber light, like it knows my name by the way I walk by. Smoke from a fire curls into the pines, thin as a prayer I half recall at times. And the hills go soft where the day runs thin, like the world makes room to let me in. There was a yard with a rusted swing, screen door him and a porch in spring. My mother called when the dust came down, and the dust rose gold at the edge of town. Now every road has a different bend, some lose their shape and some just end. Still the same old questions, ride shotgun near. What do we keep? What disappears? The creek keeps on over stone and root. Never ask what the heart will prove. Only moves, only moves. So I walk till the shadows widen, till the fields in the silence meet, with the ground talking back in kindness, through the ache of my tired feet. If there's something holy in living, it's in learning how small we are. Firelight shakes on an empty tin, night comes easy through the limbs. Somewhere far a coyote calls, like an old truth crossing over all. So I walk till the shadows widen, till the fields and the silence meet. And there's something holy in living, in the ground giving back my feet. There's a ridge where the tall oaks thin, and the valley pulls the evening in, where the trail runs out into open land, like a sentence no one planned. Grass moves slow in a sideways breeze, light gets caught in the crooked trees, and the ground beneath, with its quiet hold, feels like something steady, something old.
By the fire, the kettle breathes, soft and low through the darkening leaves. Smoke drifts up in a wavering line, like a thought that won't align.
Back in the years where the porch light burned, there were things I knew, things I never learned. Now the night comes close, and the coals fall through, and the past stands still in a different view. Maybe home is a fading trace, not a fixed or certain place, and the heart grows still in the widening air, like it's learning how to be small there. So I sit
roots that run where the ground can keep. Maybe faith is a slower sight, not the end of doubt, just a softer light, just enough to see where the path might go. Through the dark, through the things we don't know. So I sit where the last light fades, where the hills lie low and the silence stays. If there's truth, it moves slow and deep, like the roots that run where the ground can keep.
Past the last fence post and the sycamore bend runs a thin dirt track like a half-cared friend, where the tall grass bows when the light goes red and the trees lean close to the things unsaid. By a campfire ring where the dry sticks spark, smoke climbs slow and unthreads the dark, while the hills lie back in a faded blue, like they've carried old names and forgotten a few. There was a porch out back with a peeling rail, a mason jar full of rusted nails, a radio low in the kitchen glow, and the screen door beat in the dust below. Now the years move on like a creep through stone, leaving soft worn marks where the force is gone. Still the same old day comes and walks beside. What did time make true? What did time let slide? When the fire drops down to a steady seam and the night runs wide as a childhood dream, the heart speaks plain, though it speaks half low. So let the long dark field receive me, let the gravel sing under worn out souls. There are miles that fade, there are miles that keep me, there are roads that mend what the years once stole. Maybe faith is less like a blaze unbroken, more like one small coal that refuses cold. Sound at all, the sky stayed high and the earth stayed near, till the small inside me grew still and clear. Let the long dark field receive me, let the gravel sing under worn out souls. Maybe faith is one small coal still breathing when the night rolls through and the silence holds. narrow path through the maple shade, soft with the dust of another age. Boot heels pressed where the roots run deep, and the leaves lean down like they heard me speak. By the edge of the ridge where the long light stays, smoke lifts thin from a bed of flame. Evening settles in the hollow pines, slow as a hand on a shoulder blade. Back near home there was cracked red clay, the clothesline drum in the wind all day. My father stood where the beams were tied, looking out past the fence at the countryside. Now the years move on like a loaded train, taking some, bringing back some. Every town by the roadside does, feels half like loss and half like trust. There's a hush that falls when the daylight ends, when the field goes still and the stars looking clear and far, clear and far. And the world gets wide where the fire burns low, where the dark grass bends and the slow winds blow. Every mile I've worn, every road I've known, leaves a little dust in the soul. Maybe faith is just that quiet sound of your own heart holding this ground. Night lays cool on the open land. No big answer comes through the black, just the breath of the earth breathing back. And the world gets wide where the fire burns low, where the dark grass bends and the slow winds blow. It's just that quiet sound of your own heart holding its ground.
At the edge of the clearing, the fire burned thin, throwing light on the bark and the dust on my skin. The trail cuts south through the waist-high weeds, where the day dropped low through the cottonwood leaves. Some old place stirred in the smoking clay, in a screen door slammed from a farther day. And the sound of tires on a gravel bed, when home felt close and the road would end. Now the miles lie out like a quiet song, their patient frame. Never asking much, never speaking plain. There was trust in the world when the years were small, when a hand-built fence looked strong and tall. Now the same wind moves through the grass and pine, but it carries more than it carried then. And the dark rolls in, but it's never fast. It just lays a hand on the buried past, by the cold and the settling air. Even doubt finds a softer prayer. So I sit where the last light stays, where the smoke untreads and the shadows sway, and the heart lets down what it used to hide. Like a pack lay loose at the campsite side. If there's grace, it comes in a quieter way, like the ground saying stay, just stay. Morning slips through the trees in bands, cold on ash in the backs of my hands. Nothing's solved but the world feels near, like the silence said what I came to hear. So I sit where the last light stays, where the smoke unfades and the shadows sway. If there's grace, it comes in a quieter way, like the ground saying stay, just stay. Down where the wagon grass bends in rows, past the fence where the wild plum grows. There's a path that remembers my smaller feet, soft with dust and the summer heat. Tall pines sway where the light falls through, like the whole wide hill's got a word or two. Every stone in the ditch looks worn, like it's carried a name since the day I was born. Out by the fire where the black pot steams, smoke climbs slow through the edge of dreams. Crickets stitch through the settling air, and the dark lays down like a patient prayer. Years move on, but they never leave. They sleep in the seams of a flannel sleeve. Home's not gone, just a little thin, like a voice through the screen when the night rolls in. There's a sound in the trees when the day grows dim, half like mercy, half like a hymn. And the heart stays quiet to hear what's true, when the earth speaks low and the sky stays blue. Let the hillside Let the tall grass bow in the falling grain. All I've lost still rings somehow, in the smoke, in the dirt, in the here and now. If a grace runs deep where the roots all meet, then it's moving slow underneath my feet. Some roads fade and some roads remain, marked by dust and a little rain. What I couldn't hold, what I couldn't name, still comes back when the fields go plain. Let the hillside keep what I can't explain. Let the tall grass bow in the falling grain. If a grace runs deep where the roots all meet, then it's moving slow underneath my feet.
There's a bend in the trail past the sycamore trees, where the ground gives way with a careful ease. Boot soles hush in the amber dust, and the dust comes down like a patient trust. Far off hills where the fading gold, like a tale that the older fields still hold. Somewhere back in that breathing land, a boy once thought time would stay in his hands. And by the fire, the iron cup warms the palm, and the dark draws near, but it does no harm. Smoke climbs up through the cedar shade, like a quiet prayer that the mouth never made. Years went by on a gravel home, teaching skin and bone how to walk alone. Still the porch light glows in the back of the mind, like a small steady thing that the miles can't hide. When the wind moves low through the waist-high grain, something lost comes back again. Not in words that a tongue could keep, more like roots that remember deep. Let the tall grass lean where the path runs thin. Let the fire sort out what I've carried in. All my old names fall with the sparks and smoke. Some were true, some were only spoke. If there's a hand in the turning sky, it is wide as a dark and just as shy.
Every mile takes a little sound, leaves it there in the open ground. What was gone wasn't gone for long, just asleep in the dirt of an older song.
Let the tall grass lean where the path runs thin. Let the fire sort out what I've carried in. If there's a hand in the turning sky, it is wide as the dark and just as shy.
Past the bend where the tall pines part, evening settled its hand on the dark. Fire burned low by a ring of stone, red as the truth that arrives alone. Dust on the cuffs and the knees of my jeans, smoke in the hush of the sumac leaves. Some old road from a younger year came back slow and the light felt clear.
There was a yard and a length of wire, blueprints baked in the summer mire. Dog barked once, then the holder still. Fields ran gold to the farther hill.
Growing up was a quiet theft, taking the names and the faith I kept. Still the ground under every stride feels like home from the underside. And the sky gets wide where the tree line breaks, big enough now for the doubt it takes. By the coals and the breathing flame, even silence can hold a name. So I walk till the fire turns thin, till the dark lets all the old roads in, and the years move through me slow and plain, like a creek through rock after summer rain. If there's mercy, it don't shine loud. It's a smaller speaking through the ground. Soft on ash and the canteen gleam. Nothing answered the way I planned. Still a little piece stayed in my hand. So I walk till the fire turns thin, till the dark lets all the old roads in. If there's mercy, it don't shine loud. It's the smaller speaking through